To me, a public servant is the epitome of integrity and character, and courage and honor. Just, you know, all wrapped up into one, because you have to be there for people at their worst times, and when they may not necessarily want you there, but they absolutely need you there. They're calling you for a reason, and that's because they're out of options, and you are their option. So you need to be a good one.
For me, being a public servant is having the opportunity to wake up and go out every day and serve the community that you live in, or in my case, all my family lives in, where I was born and raised and from. So it's a great opportunity for me to be able to give back to the community which I love and have always loved.
To be a public servant means to make that difference in somebody's life. It means to go out there, do your job, and do it the best way that you can, because for us it's a job. For us it's what we do every day. But to the person that we're going to help, it could mean the difference between, you know, getting them out of this bad situation and changing their lives for the better, changing their lives for the rest of their life. And I mean, that's the epitome of being a public servant. It's going out there, doing the best that you can, and helping people.
To be a public servant to me means just being there for someone that, you know, could be their worst day of their life, and you're that other person on the other end of that line. You're that helping hand to the little old lady, you know, changing a tire on the side of the street. You're the voice of reason, you know, in the midst of chaos. You're there for, you know, people that are in tough times. And I think it also means that putting your personal beliefs and judgments aside and just doing what's best for the common good. To me, that's what it's all about.
To me, being a public servant means having the willingness to want to help people, you know, giving 100% in every call that you receive, you know, not expecting anything in return. We don't expect thank yous, we don't expect anything like that. We do the job because, you know, it's something that we have instilled in us to want to help people. Regardless of the call or of the importance, we're going to give 100% in every call that we're going to receive, just because that's what we feel is right. And I think that's why my classmates and I are here, because we have that within us.
Classroom training, you know, they bring in instructors from all over the department, from different bureaus and everything like that, and so you get a really good look at the variety of what you have to look forward to when you leave here.
The best part about classroom instruction is the variety of instructors that you get. It's not the same professor every day talking about in the same voice every day. It's different police officers that actually are passionate about certain topics, know issues better than they do other issues, so they have specialties.
And they pretty much explained to us how we can apply it in real life, and they gave us, you know, their situations they've been in and how they applied it in their experiences.
So it's very beneficial because we have people who are going to teach us what it's like to be a police officer, and we have people who are going to teach us what it's like on the other side to testify as a police officer, and we pretty much see both sides of the criminal justice system. Well, physical training is always important. It's important for us to be able to keep up physically because essentially our life depends on our ability to stay in the fight. You know, during physical training here at the academy, we do everything from your basic push-ups and sit-ups, jumping jacks to, you know, running.
And then you see those people who, no matter how tired they are, how many miles we're running, how out of shape they are, they still continue to fight through and finish the workouts and stay strong.
I believe it's important to stay in shape because that essentially could be half the battle. If you have good officer presence, you show up to a call and a suspect sees that chances are he could outrun you or outmuscle you or whatnot, you're liable to get yourself in a fight.
With our endurance, it's always, you know, you have to stay in the fight. There's no option of quitting and getting out of the fight. Once you're in it, you got to stay in until it's finished.
In defensive tactics, we learned how to use our tools, you know, obviously on our belt, whether it be mace, taser, or gun, and also our personal tools, whether it be, you know, punches, elbow strikes, you know, kicks.
It is a large portion of the academy, and it's important because when you get in that, when somebody gets you in that chokehold or you got to get somebody in handcuffs, you know, your cover's around the corner, but they're just not there yet. You got to know what to do to survive. And defensive tactics teaches you that as far as pressure points and pain compliance and how to subdue your suspect.
Redman was a pretty interesting experience. It was, being able to go into a home or somewhere and diffuse a situation that possibly turned violent, and being able to use all the tools on your belt.
Redman's very useful because for some people, it's the first fight of their life. So you really get that hands-on knowledge with a suspect that wants to hurt you. Getting that first hands-on experience with someone who's aggressively coming at you, learning how to not only defend yourself, but subdue the suspect is one of the hardest parts of the academy.
Here in the DT room or working out at the gym, you can decide when it's okay to stop fighting. Out in real life, when we're out on the street and it goes south, we don't have a choice. We have to fight until the end, or we're not gonna make it home that night.
OC spray day was a fun day, needless to say.
OC day is pretty much the worst day imaginable. You start off obviously by getting sprayed with OC, and then you move into your first situation. Your first situation is doing hands-on strikes. So you're doing strikes. The next situation is baton. So they put a couple batons on the ground, and you can't see them because you've been OC'd, and they tell you to find one of them, and then you got to strike that bag. And after that, you're already tired, you can't see, and you're sweating, which is making the OC worse. You move on to the situation where you have to decide whether to pull your gun or your taser. And after that, you go to the water station, which you would think would be helpful because you're wiping that OC off, but it's water-based, so the water station only makes it worse.
Would have to say it feels like somebody just opened your eyes and poured acid all in your eyes and in your mouth and nose, and it's terrible. It's awful.
It has to feel like you just got stabbed in the face with like a million needles all at once, and it's just a very bad burning sensation.
Best analogy for OC spray? It hurts.
Firearms Range was excellent training. All the instructors there, you can tell they really have a passion for that, and they're very knowledgeable, and they make it easy to listen and pay attention and really do your best to soak it all in while you're there.
At the firing range, we pretty much work with our handgun. It's going to be our pistol. We learned everything from shooting standing up to shooting prone down on the ground. We learned how to shoot with someone choking us as we're walking backwards and moving forwards.
On the firing range, we learned a lot about weapon handling techniques. There was a few people in our class that had never even touched a gun, but they were shooting, great by the end of the week, just because the instructors were really, obviously well trained, and they knew how to train well.
We were able to have, some good, about one instructor for every 2-3 recruits. But they were very hands-on and, taught us and were very patient with us. They just taught us to, trust ourselves and trust the pistol. Driving week was a lot of fun. We did a bunch of scenarios and situations where we learned how to make split-second decisions on either if we had to gas, brake, turn left, turn right, and all these different drills.
And the first day, they say, drive around the track, try not to hit the cones. And what we learned is that you can go on the first day hitting 1 or 2 or, maybe even 12 cones on that first day and passing it on that last day with a pretty good time and not hitting any cones.
It's a good experience to have because you learn you learn not only the limits of your driving, but the limits of the cars that you're going to be driving out on the road, which makes, anything you do in a car safer. Reality-based training is fun because for most of us, it's the first real semblance of feeling like a police officer.
All right, so during RBT, we received different calls. One call we received is the major disturbance. That comes out as a 6X. So we get it, we're sitting in our patrol car, we get it over the radio, and we go code 3, lights and sirens to that call. We get there, and we knock on that door, and that's probably one of the more scary things you're gonna do because you don't know if the person answering that door is gonna be the victim or if they're gonna be the aggressor. But either way, that person comes to the door and you talk to them. You go inside and you don't know who else is in there. You don't know what happened. You don't know what weapons they have in that house. So the RBT, answering that 6X, major disturbance, it's scary, but it's good because it teaches us, it gets us ready for real life, what it's gonna be like when we graduate.
Situation simulation was excellent training because it takes the last 8.5 months of everything we've learned and been a part of, and you get to put that all into this scenario.
We took all the stuff we learned from the books and the penal code, traffic code, arrest, search, and seizure, and we wrapped it up into one event. We learned, from driving the police car to the firearms, all of it was just into one situation, and we learned how to apply it all.
It was good because it's essentially what you're going to be doing in real life. So it helps knowing that, you're either up to par or you're not.
It's the whole grand scheme of things of everything we should have learned here. And so it's good to put it all into motion like that, because that's what's going to be going on when we leave here.
The community service project, Meals on Wheels, was very rewarding. It's always rewarding to give back to the community. And what that was is we went up to the Meals on Wheels headquarters and we put the meals from the coolers in the bags and loaded them into the squad cars, where different members of our command staff would go out and give those meals to people who need it in the community.
A lot of people think that we're just a badge and a gun, but we care about the city we work in. And so having citizens, witness us deliver meals to someone that chances are probably want to have a warm meal that day, it felt good knowing that we were making a difference.
The food bank, I want to say we might have broke a record on how much meat we packaged up. So we worked 2 shifts, and the first 4-hour shift we did all the meat, and then the second 4-hour shift we did all the canned vegetables. It was really good just to be a part of that, because you're right there at the beginning stages of how people get that food, and you're packaging it all up, and you get to find out how many people that food is going to feed, and it's just good. It's just a good thing for the community.
It's important to do community service so the public sees that we're people too. We're not just the person that's gonna A, take them to jail, or B, cost them money. We do care, and we do actually love the city that we serve.
I think it's good that they see that police officers are, they're human too, that there's just not a badge behind it and we're writing tickets, that, we're just like anyone else.
Brandon Barber from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Keenan Blair from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Paul Boddicker from Sugarland, Texas.
I am Ryan Chesney from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I'm Carlos Garcia from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Suhani Hanau from Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Keenan Grijalva from Palmdale, California.
I'm Kate Mahoney from Lake Forest, Illinois.
I'm Dimitri Margetis, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
My name is Lauren Mayfield, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Chelsea Montanino, and I'm from Wakefield, Kansas.
My name is Gavin Nichols, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I am Christian Nunes, and I am from Sigleville, Texas.
I'm Robert Perzillo, and I'm from Annapolis, Maryland.
I'm Shiloh Sands, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I'm Aaron Sanford, and I'm from Miami, Florida.
I'm Tomas Reñana. I'm from Owens, Texas.
I'm Elizabeth Soder from Rockwall, Texas.
I'm John Stewart, and I'm from Burleson, Texas.
I'm Richard Taylor from Seaford, New York.
I'm Lucas Veloso. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
I'm Juan Villar, and I'm from Arlington, Texas.
I'm Travis Wiggins, and I'm from Van, Texas.